So, are massive concrete and steel locks and canals and waterways going to be impacted by a microscopic virus? Apparently so. Hi everybody, Skipper Darrell here, and this is just going to be a short video discussing what I know about the canals and lock systems in New York and in the St. Lawrence Seaway and how they might impact our cruising season and maybe your cruising season too if you're going to be heading up north. Let's first talk about the New York Canal system. The main source of information about the New York canals is located at www.canals.newyork.gov, and there is a link in the description, so make sure you check that out. As of today, April 15th, there is nothing on the website that indicates anything untoward. The opening date of May 15th is still in effect at this time. However, yesterday, I did call the offices and talk to a manager type of person, and he said they are in fact themselves waiting for further instructions from the state, and they were concerned about the entire situation. So for now, they are aiming to open as usual. However, it should be noted that the locks and canal opening was delayed last year due to high waters, debris, and currents, and those conditions exist again this year. So if you're planning on navigating the New York State canals, the Erie Canal, the Oswego Canal, make sure that you go to their website and sign up to receive their notices to mariners. It's by email or by text. And it's very important information. You can keep up to date with what they're doing. They're very good at letting you know what's going on all the time. And the other thing that's really important to understand about the situation in New York is that marinas have been declared to be non-essential businesses, and they are closed. So even if you do get up to New York, you may not have anywhere to stop. The only operations that marinas are able to perform are for governmental or commercial interests. Recreational, at the moment, we're out of luck. There's just nothing going on with us. So, make sure you're aware that the New York situation is pretty tight. They're blocking a lot of things, and they're stopping a lot of things, and they're going to make sure that nobody moves in the state of New York. The next area that's of concern of us is the St. Lawrence Seaway, and that includes the part that goes from Lake Ontario to Montreal, and also the Welland Canal, which connects the western end of Lake Ontario with the eastern end of Lake Erie, which was our destination this year, Lake Erie, the western end of Lake Erie, and near Sandusky and all the islands. There are links in the description here also where you can get accurate and up-to-date information. There also is a link that is the direct link to a notice to navigation, notice to mariners about recreational boating, which I'll be going into here in just a second. Okay. The main notice that is of importance to recreational boaters is Notice 2020 Pleasure Craft Bulletin number 1. It says, quote, "All pleasure craft lockages in the St. Lawrence Seaway are suspended. This suspension applies to both the Montreal and Lake Ontario section and the Welland Canal section of the Seaway." Period. They're not letting recreational boats go through, and they are not at this time. They then went on to emphasize that their main job is to maintain service for commercial traffic. So in summation, the New York Canal situation is up in the air. No canal, no getting to Lake Ontario. The Welland Canal and locks suspending recreational lockage would stop us cold from getting to Lake Erie, which is our destination for the cruising season. And our cruise plan alternative would have been to go back east again, like we did last year, to Montreal and eventually to Ottawa. But if recreational lockage is suspended on the St. Lawrence River too, that makes for a short season. Our other alternative was to go back up the Rideau Canal to Ottawa, but that's operated by Parks Canada, and Parks Canada is closed. So the waterways are closed, and that applies to the Trent Severn also. So you loopers who are thinking you're going to be able to come up here and just go into the Trent Severn waterway, not at the moment. It's closed. It is closed. Oh, and by the way, can we even get into Canada? Borders are closed. They're not letting any traffic go through. They're not letting anyone in to Canada at this time, and the U.S. is doing the same thing. So if there's no Parks Canada, no Rideau Canal, no Ottawa. If there's no St. Lawrence River blocks, there's no Montreal, no Ottawa. If there's no Welland Canal, no Lake Erie. And if there's no Erie or Oswego Canal, there's no cruising season. Our boat stays at the marina. And again, like I said, that's assuming the borders between the US and Canada have reopened to some degree. That's just the northern end of the East Coast up into the Great Lakes, because that's where we're going. So I'm thinking about that more. But you boaters down south who have to go through Lake Okeechobee or around the locks on the Tombigbee Waterway, my suggestion is call ahead, call ahead, call ahead, and keep calling until you know what the situation is with them. It is a very complicated affair, isn't it? But it's due diligence. You got to do the right things to make your cruising season right. I'll give you an update on these things if I know them, if I find out anything new. And in the weeks to come, I will be, Lisa and I will be coming up with a finalized cruise plan, where we're going, and then I'll figure out how to get there. And based on the circumstances and the impact of the COVID-19 virus. So stay safe, stay comfortable, stay with your loved ones, take care of everybody, and we'll see you in a couple more weeks with an update on this information, okay? See ya. Please make sure you like, comment on, and share this video, and subscribe to this channel. Also, link to me on Facebook and Instagram. Links are in the description. One last thing, all of my content can be found by searching #SkipperDarrell everywhere. Oh yeah, watch these 2 videos also. Thanks a lot.